Hello, I'm Zahin, and I'm the creative director behind Zin Studios and also the lead sound designer, composer, and music producer here. Today, I'll be breaking down how I produce the music for the Yakult Go Stay Go music video.
Yakult Go, stay go, never get old.
I think my goals going to this project was ensuring the music was catchy and it's vibrant, and we wanted to create a song that would educate people on the benefits of probiotics and drinking beverages that are good for your gut health through a cool and groovy tune. I was referencing lots of West Coast hip-hop styles of music like Snoop Dogg, Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, and I love how the use of strong and catchy beats and snappy lyrics like this are a good fit for food and drink related videos because it can really help add some cultural relevance, especially for the younger generations. I've had some drafts and some random ideas that I made before refining it into the final music, and I guess these are just some of my ideas. This is draft 1 actually. I love how everything is kind of giving this very groovy energy, and there's a very nice flow and sway to the music, which I think the younger generations might resonate with. I also have this idea, and this one is a lot more upbeat, and I feel like you can hear the influence of that West Coast style of hip-hop a lot more present. And I love like the cultural relevance that this provides into the song. And then I also have this idea right here. I include a lot of pop elements into this particular draft so that it will resonate a lot better with the younger generations, and it definitely is an easier sound to appreciate. Eventually, with much revision, this is kind of like what I managed to create.
Hey yo, Yakult Go is in your house. You know all about
I
that
think
house
this is a
that
lot
you know
more
that.
closer to the different references. It has a lot more bounce and groove to the sound, which I think would work really well with the visuals for the Yakult campaign. I think the entire team agreed that this version is the one that feels the closest to the West Coast influences, and I decided to think of potential melodies to the demo. I knew the song needed rap-like elements, and it was quite natural to include them in the verse, but I think the challenge really came about when I was thinking of the melodies for the choruses. I tried a few things, and with much trial and error, found a chorus that felt really memorable. So I recorded a demo that featured the melodies and the style of the rapping. So I'd like to take you through the track. I started the song with these chord progressions. There's definitely a subtle jazzy influence, which I think, when it comes to funk and also hip-hop music, it's nice to have these elements play around. It creates very good contrast. It's a very simple chord progression and very simple pattern. It feels like a very nice groove to add to the base of the music. I just break apart a lot of the notes inside of the chords to give more movement, kind of like staccato feeling, and I like how fresh it feels. It's also an element that you hear a lot in like West Coast hip-hop music. You hear this kind of like twinkling piano that's playing around in the music. On top of all these like piano chords and also the piano staccato, we have all these synth melodies that are running through the track as well. And this is actually one of the melodies. I think it just adds a little bit more freshness and a sweetness to the sound. I also have this mellow sounding piano to give a elegant and also classy feel, which I think adds a feeling of refinement to the music as well. I also decided to include a lead synthesizer inside the track with this melody playing to complement all the other electronic pianos and also the other synthesizers. The rhythm section for the track is actually super simple. There is just basically a kick and also a snare. So nothing complicated over here. It's just a very simple rhythm pattern that plays alongside the other melodies and the chords. So maybe I will enable like the keys. So do you see how it just adds the right amount of rhythm without having to be, too complicated for the listeners? But I do have this hi-hat that plays during the chorus to add even more rhythm and even more groove in the sound, which I think uplifts the energy during the chorus a little bit more. The bass is a very important element in a style of music like this, especially in the genre or style of West Coast hip-hop with lots of jazzy and funk elements. At the start, it was just this very simple kind of bass pattern. It sounds very groovy, it sounds very funky. There is quite a gooey and sticky tone to it, which I thought was kind of cool to include as well. And we also have this other bass that is playing alongside that. We actually have two basses. So in this bass, it adds a lot more movement and it adds almost like a melodic tonality to the sound. What I love about the bass, it makes you want to dance. It definitely helps to set the movements to the music. It makes you want to move and it makes you want to party. I included quite a number of sound effects inside the song, especially in areas where you're transiting from, let's say, verse to chorus or even in the intro, simply by utilizing sounds that are reminiscent towards a certain era. And I wanted to age the sound to give a nostalgic feel to it. We have this record player playing, and then we have like the squeaky vinyls and the cassettes and the crackling sounds to give a bit more of an aged feeling. Lots of rises to connect the bridges, to connect the verses to the choruses. I added all of these kind of sparkly chimes, like when it transits from here to here. It really adds this kind of like magical quality, and you hear this a lot in the hip-hop music back then. To really tie up all the instruments that we have, I felt like a string playing in the background would be really useful. I also carefully included some violins in the background to create a little bit more cohesion and to give a little bit more drama as well. Sometimes when you listen to some of this hip-hop music, you hear all these like orchestral elements as well, and it definitely amplifies the tone and the energy of the music. So we also have lots of violin coming in over here. This is the violins playing in the chorus as well. The way the violins are being played, it has almost like a disco feeling to it as well, especially towards the chorus. It makes you want to dance, it makes you want to move. It's dramatic, it makes it feel very epic, and it makes the chorus sound really, really big. The chorus for this song needs to be really grand, it needs to be very big, and I really want it to feel super catchy and memorable. And I think how lovely would it be to include these pop brass playing the melodies. You hear how dramatic all these brasses come together and play alongside the violins and the synthesizers and the bass instruments. It really makes you feel like the song is reaching its peak. We were so blessed to be able to collaborate and work with Anik Rushaidi, a Singapore-based singer who also goes by the name Aruhi. He has a very commercial and super clean vocals, and he can definitely belt all these beautiful notes, so it sounds fantastic. In the beginning of the song, we have him rap out all these different ad-libs, and I added, like a radio static effect to make it feel like he's singing through like a megaphone. And we also got Anik to really freestyle all these ad-libs to add a little bit more snap and passion into the song. And these are his wonderful vocals.
10 billion bacteria, Yakult in your area, low sugar, see you die. You're gonna be alright.
And then this is the chorus.
Yakult gold, stay gold, never gets old. Same old, true be told, filled with probiotic goodness. Now a low sugar treat, a low sugar treat.
Then we have some background harmonies.
Yakult gold, you could be alright.
We layered so much different layers to the voices to create a background vocal that feels super harmonic and super heavenly. And once you have all these harmonies together with Anik's beautiful vocals, it sounds so rich, and dare I say, it sounds very glamorous at the same time. Like, this is probably the most elegant and classy way of singing Vitamin D. So I really love how all these elements are being added into the song to create all these bursts of excitement and fun to listen to. I love the feeling I get when I'm listening to this musical style. It really puts you in a groove and you can't help but bop and dance to it. I love drinking Yakult as well. It's quite nostalgic to me because I drink it a lot when I was young. So I guess to have my music to play in the same air or same breath, or I guess just simply to have my music associated to the brand is so exciting to me. I'm Zahin, and that's how I produce the music for Yakult's Yakult Gold Stay Gold rap music video. If you like what you hear and see, do subscribe to us for more similar content. See you in the next one.